all hold on for life, because as long as there's life, we find that there is hope. If this is true of most persons, how much more true would it be of Jehovah's Witnesses? Because not only do we have the present life to hold on to and to live for, but we hold on to the hope of everlasting life. Because Jesus promised us in Romans the 6th chapter that the reward God would give would be everlasting life. So we have a strong desire and instinct to want to survive and pursue it, and to eventually realize paradisaic conditions in God's new order. But in this run for life, some of us looking forward to a change in this old system and its destruction for many years now, there are some of us who get a little weary and a little tired. And sometimes we just want to throw our hands up and say, I just don't know if I can go on any further. But just like a runner, when he's running a course and he gets near to the end, just about the time when he thinks he just can't go in and on any further, he realizes, well, there's the goal ahead of him. He's come around the last lap, and there it is. Well, all of a sudden he just seems to get some reserve power from nowhere, and with a sudden surge of energy, on he goes to break the finish line rope and win the prize. Well, now, as Jehovah's Witnesses, as runners, even though some of us have become a little weary, it almost seems as though Jehovah has provided meat in due season, because he's held up before all of us a new goal, a new year, something to reach out for, and it just seems has given all of us so much more energy and power in this final burst of speed to the finish line. And that's the year 1975. There's been a lot of talk about the year. In fact, even this week, some individuals have been wondering, well, what does it mean? Or do we dare talk about it? Is it something we can discuss among ourselves, even though we might not talk about it too much in public? Do we really know what it means? Well, we don't have to guess what the year 1975 means. If we read the Watchtower, because the Watchtower has been very explicit as to what the year 1975 means for us. If you wish to write down the page 262 in the 1967 issue of the Watchtower, we read, what does the year 1975 mean for humankind? The end of 6,000 years of human existence, and possibly the time when God executes the wicked and starts off a 1,000-year reign under his Son, Jesus Christ. Unquote. What does it say? The end of 6,000 years of human existence, and that's all? No. It gave us a little more to think about there. Did it say for certainty the time when God executes the wicked and starts off the 1,000-year reign by Jesus Christ? No. But it did give us a glimmer of light. It says possibly the time when God executes the wicked and starts off the 1,000-year reign of his Son, Jesus Christ, 1975. Doesn't that give you a little bit of excitement about the future? Even if there is the possibility that that's it, when God will bring the battle of Armageddon and clean this whole earth off, and you'll be ushered right into a paradise earth forevermore, never again to be afflicted with this satanic old system of things. It will be gone down. It should excite all of us. There are the skeptics who say, well, I'm not going to think about it and not worry about it. I'm going to pay attention to it. Well, now remember, brothers, The faithful and discreet slave is used by Jesus Christ to do what? Jesus says to provide meat in due season. This is meat, and it's come at the right time, and it's in its due season, and it's not wrong to think about it and to look forward to it. As far as knowing for sure, well, we know what we know for sure. We just read it. The end of 6,000 years of human history, and possibly the execution of the wicked in the beginning of the 1,000-year reign. And that should be exciting enough and talk enough for us. When you think about it, what a fantastic short span of time that is. How many of you here were in New York City in 1958? Would you hold up your hands? Great majority of you here. Where's the time gone since then? Just seemed like yesterday we were there. But do you realize that more time has passed away since that assembly in 1958, where 250,000 of Jehovah's Witnesses gathered, than what is left to 1975? Hard to imagine, isn't it? Yes, that was 9 years ago. It's only 8 years to 75. How little time there is left. How much to happen. We just wait now with everlasting life in view, and we serve with the future unveiling in front of us. Very soon now we wait for Babylon the Great to be turned upon and severely scathed and destroyed and decimated to where there's nothing left of her. And then the cry, peace and safety. We finally got rid of the old harlot. She's off our back. No more religion to bother us, the nations say. Uh-oh, there they are, rearing their ugly heads up above the dust. Jehovah's Witnesses. Now with a message more fierce than has ever been heard before. Now with a taunt song to the nations. You see, we told you Babylon the Great was going down, was going to be destroyed. You said it would never happen, but you did it yourself. Now you're next. Jehovah will destroy you. Did you think they're going to like that? That's when they all combine, all the communistic and democratic powers together, with one objective in mind: wipe out those people. And then truly we'll be rid of all antagonists and have peace and safety, and we'll have our unified world. But when they begin to attack Jehovah's Witnesses, strange things begin to happen. It seems to be calamities are brought by Jehovah God in a fierce and horrifying way, as though they've never seen things of this nature before. Flesh-eating plagues are mentioned by Zechariah that will sweep this earth, rot the eyes out of the sockets and the tongues out of the mouths. They'll run screaming out of their houses with this striking them, and yet they'll see Jehovah's Witnesses are untouched. I want to get in now. Let me be one of you. It's too late now. And then Jehovah God seems to bring the natural forces against this old system. Terror on air, in land, and in the sea. Fratricidal warfare, neighbor against neighbor. Every unhuman, inhumane thing that could occur not only from men, but even from natural forces. And Armageddon seems to have two phases now. The latest watchtower brought out, if you've read it, where it says is there such a thing as a just war. Phase 1. All united efforts among the nations destroyed. All political organization gone. All that's left are the kings standing by themselves without an ally or friend in the world. All super suspicious of each other. All standing there tense. Phase 2. Jehovah strikes confusion into their hearts. And in the mad fury and flurry, they turn on each other, destroying one another. And what is left then, Jehovah God calls the supernatural angels and the cavalry of Jesus Christ to close in on them. 200 million angels with all their destructive power. And what a power that's going to be. One angel in one night, when the Syrian forces of Sennacherib came against Israel, destroyed 185,000 soldiers. Let's say that the 200 million angels of Jesus Christ are limited in power, and they can only destroy 185,000. That will give them the potential to destroy 37 trillion persons. There aren't near that many on the earth. In fact, that's 12,333 times the number of people even alive. All that power wrapped up in the cavalry of Jesus Christ. And all of that possibly has to happen and be finished within the year 1975. Exciting years ahead of us. And then look beyond that, the 1,000-year reign of Jesus Christ. You know what that means? All the dead being brought back. Just think of the dear ones you've lost maybe in the last 5 or 10 years. Don't you look forward to seeing them coming back? Well, it won't be long now. Look at what's ahead. You think you're going to mind having to work with the crops and the land when you find out that your loved one's going to come back and you have to plant a little extra for them? You think you're going to mind when you're notified maybe a little in advance that you need some shelter, that you're going to have to build it on for your loved one as temporary living quarters when they come back? Just think what it's going to be like when the family is notified it's time and you all gather there waiting and you see them rise up out of the dust. Like Isaiah says, awake you in the dust, you residents. Come alive. Think you're going to mind seeing that? That's our future. What a wonderful one. The resurrection is something to stagger the imagination with immensity. When it comes to the number that will be back, we don't know for sure, but some comments have been made by the Society that could give some idea. You may want to make note of these references, read them later. Things in which it's impossible for God to lie, paragraph 12, page 350. Billions who died before Jesus, billions who died since will be back. The latest publication, Life Everlasting and Freedom of the Sons of God, page 393, paragraph 26, thousands of millions. The watchtower